Next town. Wet Bake. Would you like to gamble? Do you know that sailors always carry purse with them? I did not. And Roland has trouble with brigands. Bands of brigands have been robbing and kidnapping anyone who attempts to travel to Europe. These bandits are said to be led by a sorcerer, and no one is brave enough to enter their hideout and slay him. If you are brave enough to do so, I will reward you with 10,000 coins. Sounds like a bargain. Oh, plot thickens. And what does the half-orc say? Oh, ancient tomb. And the dwarf does not believe the elves. Can't blame him. And before I open the chests, I should sell some of my items to make up space for new stuff, and that's an temple if I ever saw one. That might be a helmet. And now I guess his inventory is full. Let's buy the Tokman and see if it's bracers or if it's a helmet. It's a helmet. So let's sell it back. And Decker would take us to the third island, which is the jungle island, which is way beyond my power range still. And you say you have a jewelry, but I only see bronze ingot and rusty pot, which might be anywhere close to being called jewelry. And it's always those long-haired women in dresses who think they're running jewelry stores. What does it say about this world? Other than that the random loot algorithms in shops are woefully underwhelming. This looks a trainer. Dex trainer. I don't know if I benefit from raising dexterity. Doesn't look like there's a underground region in this city, unless this wall here has the secret. It probably does not. Even though it's strange that the northwestern edges are not rounded like the ones elsewhere are. So Dex Trainer. If nothing else, it would allow my spellcasters to act faster in combat, possibly getting in some crowd control spells before the enemy has their chance to act. But I don't think dexterity does too much in this game, other than at the beginning to give you the weapon skills. I wonder if the hint book knows anything about the stats. If it influences movement speed, then there might be a function for it. I'm reading through the summary of how combat behaves. But most of these are either to do with strength or just your weapon skill straight out. The parry chance is straight from fencing, and does it actually mention anything about dodging? The poor victim cannot dodge, parry or block if they are unconscious, asleep, paralyzed, blind or attacked from behind. Otherwise, the defender always attempts to dodge, and there is a 5% chance of dodging for every movement. This percentage is lowered by the attacker's weapon skill base, unmodified, divided by 10. Armor may deflect a blow, whether or not the victim is conscious or can see. The chance of this happening is armor defense times 5, minus the attacker's weapon skill divided by 10. Shield block is based on shield skill divided by 2 minus the attacker's weapon skill divided by 10. And then it covers the weapon parry. Yeah, I just don't think dexterity does anything really, other than combat initiative. If you have aiming for the legs will reduce the victim's movement to 0 for the remainder of the round if they fail a dex check, so it does get used in a saving throw. And if the attacker's dex is below normal, there is a minus 1% penalty per lost point. So basically, if I have higher dexterity, I can lose more dexterity and the penalty will accrue. That doesn't sound too nice. Yeah, I just don't think training dexterity will be all that beneficial for us. I might want to train it up 5 points to get it to 100 with my mini guys if it does anything. 100 seems like a good number that can be divided by the most obvious numbers that might get used in some formulae somewhere. How much would it cost? Too much. That's like 8,000 per fighter. But the back row, much cheaper. Let's give it a try. Your trap skill is horrible. It has risen because you've been lockpicking. That's a neat development. So your mace is sterling and most of your auto weapon skills are adequate or competent. I want to see if they improve if I increase your dexterity. They do get higher. Okay, so training dexterity does help then. Interesting. Well, that changes everything. And even the back row people are starting to have their weapon skills now that their dexterity is 30. Yeah, I think I want to spend some money on raising the dexterities to 40 maybe. So how much was that? It's no 40. And you all actually have shield skill, which is nice. Because you are using shields. But you don't have fencing. But you're using a knife, so it doesn't really matter. And we'll save the rest of our money for now. We'll exit the town. I think I should explore the northeastern part of this island first. That's what I'm going to do. So, at the very least we'll cast mass haste. have animals. Lions, elephants and imps. Imps being demons and not animals, in case someone feels like nitpicking about it. Which I doubt is the case. Okay, now that we've learned that training dexterity does in fact raise skills retroactively, it makes my character creation min-maxing less valuable, because the training costs are still linear, so we don't end up gaining anything money-wise, but we'll have easier time in the beginning hitting stuff. But it's pretty much sudden death mode against some of the creatures that live on the first island. So all the animals look like they might be normal ones. So that's good. And we actually managed to cast our first death bolt, which deals a lot of damage against a single target. More than the boulder does, but death bolt doesn't really work against everything. Only against non-undead and possibly not even against demons. I guess you don't benefit from haste anymore, so let's reapply it. And then taking care of the imps. They should go down with one severe wound, I'm thinking. Indeed. And I think you might need to cast some enchantments. Yeah, having used the mass armor, my guys are not really that protected against physical damage, because it confers a tinier bonus than the single target spell cast 8 times separately does. So I need to watch out for the elephants, I guess. that's that.